Hello. Good morning to one and all. So, Mr. Naveen is there? Mr. Naveen is there? I request all the participants to not give the present now option. Please kindly wait in the meeting. Naveen Rikara. Hello, madam. Nalini, madam. You can try presenting now. Like you try connecting it, ma'am. Kindly unmute yourself and then try connecting, ma'am. Kindly unmute yourself and try giving the present now option and then. Ma'am, unmute yourself, ma'am. I'm not able to hear your audio actually. இல்ல சொல்லிட்டாங்க அவங்க வேற பேசுறாங்க அவங்க ஏதோ பேசுறாங்க ஆக்சுவலா Very good morning to one and all. So, on the eve of International EVS Day, we are very enlightened to arrange a webinar on e-waste to bring awareness to all the industries and then all the public and bulk consumers and consumers. So, which is been organized by Envis Hub Puducherry in along with coordination with Puducherry Pollution Control Committee. So, our speakers are today Ms. Nalini from Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board. She's been currently working as environmental engineer in TNPCB and has a 30 years of experience in prevention and control of pollution across the state. And she also demonstrated a lot of experience in research. Like she converted So she's also involved in a lot of research-oriented projects. One is Triple Helix Model Research Center for Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, IIT Madras, and she also been nominated for Nodal Officer for E-Waste Management in TNPCB. And she also conducted several workshops and e-waste trainings across industrial forums, educational institutions, and NGOs. And she's also a certified trainer by MITE. and she's also acting as a member of board of studies in Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, which is affiliated to Anna University. And her area of and she's also pursuing PhD from NIT Trichy, and she is carrying out a research in e-waste management. So, very good morning to you, ma'am. We are very honored to welcome you for this event, and we request you to kindly deliver your lecture for this event.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Am I audible to you all?
Audible. Yeah, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, my video is on.
Yeah, your video is on, but we are not able to see your presentation yet.
My presentation is on?
No. I guess you should give present now. Present now. Share your screen.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yes, fine.
Now it is.
Yeah, now it's visible, ma'am. Kindly give slideshow, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's visible, ma'am. Now you can start.
Okay. Respected dignitaries, distinguished participants, good morning to all. It is an honor for me to join with you all in this occasion, that is International E-Waste Day, to speak on e-waste management for better environment, a subject which is close to my heart. My speech will consist of 3 parts: the growing generation of the electronic waste, its health and environmental implications, and how it can be managed in a sustainable way. You know, our lives has been tremendously changed from pen, papers, to computers and phones to the internet due to the digital technology. We can't refuse it. We love our smartphones than any other materials in the world. Since we feel it, it develops our social skills. And one more thing, every 11 months, we change our phones on the occasion of the birthdays, wedding days, and New Year. Our appetite and electronic gadgets grows. But at the same time, the crisis on the energy, water, and climate disasters have also increased the stress on the human environment. You know, e-waste is the fastest growing waste stream. Why? 100 numbers of, more than 100, that is even 1,000 numbers of metals and elements are used in the manufacturing process of electrical and electronic equipments. For example, for televisions, for making televisions, phones, mobile phones, and computers, gold is used in the circuits to bring better communications. And lithium, a rare earth element, is used in the batteries to bring more hours of charging. And lead in televisions. A rare earth element, dysprosium in cell phones, has been used to bring lot of colors. You know, this electronic waste contains hazardous substances as well as the valuable resources. In order to take out the valuable resources, some kind of improper techniques have been used by the unorganized sector. They take out the valuable resources and leave the hazardous substances on the land and environment, adjoining environment, which brings a lot of pollution and health effects on the human and environment. That is why the e-waste is considered as most important waste globally. So what is e-waste? All the electrical and electronic equipments, those are operated either by the electricity or with the battery. When they are discarded by its owners, when they consider it as a old one or update new, old ones are broken, it becomes waste. They consider all the old and unwanted electronic equipments as waste. What are the reasons? Last 6 months, before 6 months, you got a mobile phone. And during the COVID-19 period, your children are sitting for the online classes, and the elders are sitting for work from home. So one cell phone and one computer in a family is not enough. So even now, even every family is having 3 to 5 numbers of cell phones and 2 to 3 numbers of laptops. So in order to bring the electronic equipments for more usage, and at the same time, the discarding of the electronic equipments are become more due to when the lifespan is elapsed, when it is repaired, when you take it to for repairing shop, the person says some amount of money for getting repaired. So you will think, oh, this amount is more than that when you can buy a new one. So at the moment, the people tend to discard their old electronic equipment, and it becomes electronic waste. In 2017, Global E-Waste Monitor said globally 48.5 million tons of electronic waste was generated in 2018 globally. So actually 44.7 million tons of electronic waste is generated approximately every year. That is equivalent, we can build 4,500 numbers of Eiffel Towers and 1,25,000 of jumbo sets. And in India, the report was said that in India, 2 million tons of electronic waste was generated in the year 2017. And now the same report has been updated. Global E-Waste Monitor in 2020. The study was conducted by the United Nations University, UNU. There was 53.6 million tons of electronic waste was generated globally in the year 2019. And Asia generated greatest volume of e-waste, some 24.9 million tons. And more of that one, some reports in India, like ASSOCHEM, they have reported in their study that India will generate 5 million tons of electronic waste in the year 2021. So, small equipments and large equipments and all together contribute this 53.6 million tons of electronic waste. And screens, monitors, and lamps, small IT and electric telecommunication are not an exemption. So where all this e-waste goes? The developed countries, they have strict rules on the consumer products and also the waste regulations. And they have more stringent regulations on the labor rules. So ultimately, all the electronic waste, all the electrical and electrical equipments, once they become obsolete, they have been transferred to the developing countries like China, India, Pakistan, Africa, where the skilled laborers are available, and also the recycling techniques are not at all cared, because they have recycled all the electrical and electronic equipments in their houses, backyard of the houses, even at the open dump yards, even at the banks of the rivers and lakes and ponds. Why? The e-waste contains both valuable and harmful components. As we said, the precious metals such as gold, silver, copper, and palladium. And also harmful substances include lead, mercury, and cadmium. Printed circuit boards contain lead and cadmium, and cathode ray tubes contain lead oxide and cadmium, and some switches and flat screen monitors contain mercury. Even the CFL bulbs have been included in the e-waste category of our Indian government rules. So ultimately, a huge quantity of mercury is released into the environment when it is handled improperly. Even the computer batteries containing cadmium and also mobile phone batteries containing lithium, the outer case containing plastics, which is brominated flame retardants called as BFRs. These are all hazardous materials. People, what they tend to do, they go to the dump yard, take out the electronic waste already dumped on the along with the municipal solid waste. They take out the electronic waste, and they take out copper from the copper wires, PVC insulated wires. They ban the PVC insulated wires and take out the copper, and also ban the some of the printed circuit boards. Take out the printed circuit boards and for using further uses, because this brings their livelihoods. Some of the e-waste dump yards worldwide are shown here. This is South Africa Agglablosin of e-waste dump yard in Accra, Ghana, and also in New Delhi, some of the places well known, so like Shillangpur area, or some of the areas, and Moradabad in Uttar Pradesh, also well known for the unorganized sector who are recycling. They are dismantling their e-waste in the backyard of their houses. They are doing their tiny business as their livelihoods to earn their bread and butter for every day. This is the one of the dump yard and electrical e-waste recycling happen in Gayu, a small village in China. And also a boy is, this is a house converted for the dismantling of the e-waste. They are unscrewing and using the some of the metals to break all those e-waste, and then take out what they want and give it back to the uh, uh, persons who will take out the gold and silver by primitive type of recycling. What they do, they take out the printed circuit metals and they put it in the tanks containing aqua regia, combination of nitric and hydrochloric acid, and the gold is small amounts of gold is removed from that layer, and they throw the entire acid containing bath on the land. That you can see the adjoining land is full of wastewater containing the uh, uh, this leaching of acid leaching of the printed circuit boards. They only take small amounts of gold and silver, but as we know that hundred numbers of thousand numbers of heavy metals like chromium, cadmium, nickel, and 60 numbers of rare earth elements, dysprosium, and small coatings of cobalt are all leached out into the atmosphere because they don't know to recover all such tiny quantities of heavy metals present in the printed circuit boards. So ultimately, the land and adjoining environments gets affected due to this improper handling of the electronic waste. So what it brings, the e-waste is not hazardous per se. When it is broken and it is dismantled, the process becomes a very hazardous one, which gives hazardous emissions and hazardous elements into the environment and make the people very prone to the diseases. Like an average PC may contain 7.24 kg of plastics and 1.98 kg of lead, zero point 0.6 gram of mercury, and arsenic, cadmium, chromium, barium, beryllium. all type of heavy metals are present, but the people only concentrate on the big portion of the um, metals, which gives them some quantity of money. So the remaining quantity of metals are left uncared in the environment. For example, the cadmium is the printer cartridges is having cadmium, and also CRT screens, and also rechargeable batteries also containing cadmium. When it is thrown into the environment, when it is recycled in the backyard without proper machineries and trapping the emissions with pollution control measures, without any pollution control measures, it will affect the kidneys and lungs of the people who are involved in the process, and also the adjoining environment, adjoining people also will get affected due to this. As we know, a huge amount of lead is stored in the CRT, old CRT monitors, and also print batteries and printer circuit boards. When it is thrown outside the land, outside the environment, when it is broken, CRT tubes is broken without having a proper and sound management of the e-waste machineries, the lead powder is dispersed into the atmosphere. It is unknown, it is colorless, and even the children also are prone to inhale the lead powder. And the adjoining a person who is doing dismantling and breaking of the CRT screens and batteries and printer circuit boards, say for example in a shop having 100 numbers of other shops, commercial shop. So this kind of pollution, this kind of gases, this kind of materials enter into the breathing air, and it affects the children and other people, old people and pregnant ladies also. It gives much nervous disorders. And also the lead inhalation also decrease the intelligence of the children. And one more thing, lithium batteries. So when this is the lithium ion batteries, this is found in most of the computers and in the cell phones. Once these electronic equipments are given for repair or replace of the batteries in the repair shops, they take out the batteries and keep it in the box, and the shopman ultimately at the end of the day, or some 5 days or 6 days, they don't know what to do with the lithium ion batteries. They don't know, nobody is coming to take out those kind of small button like components, because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what type of technology to take out the battery, the lithium. So instead, they simply thrown along the garbage. Ultimately, it is reaching the municipal solid waste dump yard. This kind of batteries, when it is mingled with other kind of waste and it is burnt in the open yard, it also the gases emissions, it also mixed with the air, and it causes eye irritation, and ultimately it is more carcinogenic. And also arsenic is found in the circuit boards and LCD displays and computer chips. We all know that it affects the lungs, skins, and bladder, which causes cancer. And also the brominated flame retardants, the plastic outside of the plastic, outer covers of the plastics are made up of the brominated flame retardants. When it has a less commercial value. So the mouse, when you take the mouse and the like the keyboards and other parts of the outer parts of the electronic waste, simply they have taken it out. So they have huge quantities of plastic parts. Because of the less value, commercial value, they don't know what to do, and nobody is coming. And again, it is having a less value or less recycling capacity. So again, it is also ends up in the landfill when it is people burnt with the other type of waste. It brings dioxins. So it also affects the health and environment. We all know lot of advocacy, lot of advertisement, lot of awareness has been happened. How dioxins, how the banning of the plastics brings the dioxins and how it affects our body systems. We all know that, and added to that, this kind of plastics also brings lot of problems to the environment and as well as to the human health. This are no part in the human has been left without all heavy metals of the electronic waste. This is the one. The lead brings brain damage, and also the mercury in CFL bulbs. All the electronic waste has some potential value. Copper from the wires and silver, metal, gold from the other electronic equipment. But the CFL bulbs having the mercury, this kind of handling waste is brings a lot of dangers to the environment. Since mercury, 5 milligram of mercury is added in the CFL bulb. So imagine our India is having 300 million to 300 millions of CFL bulbs. So when all these bulbs are broken or they is not in use or cannot be repaired, on all the CFL bulbs are ended in the landfill. People don't know the mercury presence in the CFL bulbs, and they don't even know how to dispose it. So ultimately, nobody is coming in the doorsteps of the households to get the broken CFL bulbs. Once it is broken, it is very dangerous because of the evaporate nature of the mercury. It also mixes in the air and causes the nervous damage due to methyl mercury, and also it accumulates in the natural environment, causing bioaccumulation of methyl mercury. For example, 1 by 70th spoon of, so because that is 1 by 70th spoon of mercury is mixed in the 20 acres of the lake, all the fishes will become contaminated, and it also become very poisonous. When it enters the human food chain, it will also brings a lot of damages to the body health of the people, and also because it's very dangerous nowadays. This all, apart from all kinds of the waste and emissions and heavy metals pollution, this kind of unhidden mercury pollution is most dangerous to the environment. So we are in a need of to create some kind of system, to place some kind of system to collect the CFL bulbs and handling it properly from the each and every household of the society. And also latest, I came to know from the news that Kerala government has put on a ban on the selling of the CFL bulbs from the first November of 2020. So they have got around 2 crores of LED bulbs to distribute to their people. So they have announced a ban, a total ban on the selling of the CFL bulbs. This is the one kind of the protective, preventive measures for arresting the hazards of mercury from the government. So every cloud has its own silver lining. So this kind of materials, either hazardous or good materials, can be recycled with following the good practices. This is the one of the way where the people are shredding shredding the copper wires and separating the copper and plastic by providing proper control measures, and the dust is arrested separately and the materials are separated in according to their chemical nature. So this kind of shredding of the electronic waste is happening in the formalized recycling sector, and this kind of electrolytic process where the copper and gold is recovered back by providing the proper wastewater treatment systems. So who is generating the electronic waste, whether from the household or individual consumer or bulk consumers, retailers and manufacturers of electrical and electronic equipment. During the process also, some kind of electronic waste is generated. And when bulk kind of the government, public and private sector enterprises are considered as bulk consumers and retailers. Secondary market waste management rules in the year 2011, and also subsequently it has been upgraded in the year 2016. They have placed a suitable mechanism according to the stakeholders, according to the people who are also recycling it. So the objective mandatory provisions are extended producer responsibility, where the producer has to take back their own electronic and electronic equipments once the lifespan of the electronic equipments has been elapsed. They have to provide a suitable system to collect back those electronic waste. And these rules also mandated some type of targets according to the years. So according to the target, they have to take back their own electronic waste. And also the government's pollution control boards, Central Pollution Control Board is giving a license to the producers who is selling their branded electronic equipments in the market in India. So without that license from the Central Pollution Control Board, no electronic producers can sell their electronic equipments in their markets. So it is mandatory. And also the State Pollution Control Board are giving the license to the person who is willing to do the recycling business in a sound environmental way by providing suitable machineries and control measures according to the guidelines framed by the Central Pollution Control Board. So the dismantlers and recyclers and even the repair shops, people who are willing to do some kind of refurbishing activities, they can also be encouraged by the State Pollution Control Board by giving the proper mechanisms, license mechanisms and guidance, and doing the ease of business in each state. And also the reduction of hazardous substances. So the categories of the electronic 16 to they have broadly categorized into two types. Generation of mercury into the environment is given in these rules. There are 6 categories of hazardous substances, and its hazardous nature has been regulated in these rules. For example, lead, mercury, hexavalent chromium, polybrominated biphenyl ether, and polychrominated diphenyl ether shall contain 0.1% of its total weightage. For example, an electrical and electronic equipments, a particular part having 1 gram or 2 gram of lead is manufactured. So during that process, 0.1% of that particular part weight has to be provided, not along with the total weight of the electronic components. So the hazardous substances have been reduced has to be reduced in the electrical and electronic equipments. The producers who are willing products in the market, they have to declare that their products have been reduced. They have 6 components according to the rules have been provided like that. So the important stakeholders are manufacturers, bulk consumers, central and state government departments, public sectors, the educational institution. They all have to maintain some forms, how much quantity of e-waste is generated and where they are giving. The recyclers, refurbishers, dismantlers have to get some license authorizations from the state pollution control board. So whoever generate the electronic waste, that should be channelized and handed over to the authorized recycler instead of giving to the informal, unorganized sectors. So this is the extended producer responsibility. Producer has to take back their own products after their end of life by creating awareness, like the e-waste should not be mixed with the garbage bins like that. This kind of symbol has to be provided on the packing box, and also this kind of recycle has to be provided. And the state and pollution control board has to give license to the manufacturers, refurbishers and dismantlers and recyclers, and producers has license, they cannot sell the products. So last year 5 numbers of producers have been penalized for non and violating the conditions of the Central Pollution Control Board. As such, 23 numbers authorized dismantlers are operated in the Tamil Nadu, authorized by the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, and 1 number of recycler and 1 number of refurbishers, and 11 numbers of collection centers have been authorized by the Pollution Control Board. And as such, in the year 2016 rules, collection centers are not required to get the authorization from the Pollution Control Board. Simply, they have to make an agreement with the dismantlers, recyclers, and refurbishers, and either or with the producers. The authorization obtained by the dismantlers and refurbishers and recyclers are enough for them to reduce the pollution load on the environment, either on the water pollution, reduce the soil pollution, to reduce the air pollution due to the manual dismantling, due to the acceleration of the electronic waste. We have to recycle it because it contains the valuable metals. For example, recycling of 6,000 numbers of more gives 150 grams of copper and 340 grams of gold and 140 grams of palladium and 3 and almost 1 metric ton of e-waste contains more from gold ore. The resources, in order to recover the resources, so that mining and excessive mining also causes the natural landscape. It affects the natural landscape. It also affects the water availability for next generation, and also during the process, it gives more number of emissions. Altogether, affect the global climate. So in order to stop those things, and also whatever the resources taken back from the earth, we have to return back to the earth. So in order to not to disturb the earth further, we have to recover all the materials from the waste itself. That's called an urban mining. So that all the raw materials can be utilized back to the process, remanufacturing. So what we can do, we can buy only what when we really need. Don't buy the latest model if the old one still works. Buy the green support companies and brands that are leaders in e-waste, take back and recycling. Some of the companies are doing some kind of a repair system. They are simply replace some parts of the components and resell the products. We can also support such kind of companies and also raise the awareness and demand the take back from the local electronic goods and appliance seller and supermarkets. And we can also spread the awareness to the colleagues and neighbors and what we learned the downside of senseless and relentless consumption. especially the household CFL bulb disposal, because when we throw the broken CFL bulbs and ends up in the landfill, it creates huge number of problems. So we should not throw away the broken bulbs. We should not break the bulb first of all. When it is repaired, just when it is not working, just we can keep safely in the box. So we have to keep the boxes when we buy the CFL bulbs. So we should not throw the boxes away. Keep it for further use. When it becomes repair, when it is not in use, we can simply keep the bulbs in the boxes in order to avoid the breakage and not to dispose through the common garbage bins. These are some kinds of sense of things we can learn and bring awareness among the schools and neighbors in the community. Some kind of useful websites are tnpcb.gov.in, and Ministry of Environment Forest is framing all kind of rules. And Central Pollution Control Board is a governing body giving guidelines and monitoring all state pollution control children. Some kind of trainers are available, certified trainers are available on these websites. You can utilize those trainers for bringing some kind of training in the educational institutions. And also, I'm also one of the trainer trained by the MIT, certified in the greenie.gov.in. For any queries, please mail to nalini@tnpcb@gmail.com. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share some of my views about e-waste in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very informative presentation on detailing on hazards of unorganized sector, and then coming back to what are the rules stipulated for bulk consumers, and every individual who's a part of stakeholder in e-waste management. And there are some queries which has been posted by the participants. So I would request you to kindly answer those one. So one is how to validate e-waste recyclers. This SPCB or CPCB website contains the list of valid approved recyclers.
Of course. Authorized recyclers all over India. At present, around 800 numbers of authorized recyclers are available. This list is you can find in the CPCB website, and each state wise, for example, you can go to the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, tnpcb.gov.in. You can find the list of recyclers, authorized recyclers. So each website of the concerned state pollution control board gives all list of the approved recyclers.
Thank you, ma'am. To add upon, even in Pondicherry Pollution Control Committee website, we have given the list of authorized collection centers and neighboring states list of e-waste recycler and dismantlers. We have provided the information. Participants, bulk consumers who are been attending, kindly check the information and you can access it, which is downloadable. So, ma'am, one more question. Is there any new technology or innovative methods undertaken in disposing the e-waste?
Disposal of the e-waste, new technology or innovative methods for disposing the this question is for recycling or recovery methods. So nowadays repairing and reusing of e-waste is getting more familiar. One particular website contain an Apple product. They have started a repair of their products by giving manuals in their websites. When you buy an Apple product, they give the manuals. Like that, some of the companies started their repair of the manuals, repairing manuals, and repairing and refurbishing is getting more familiar. And also that recycling technologies, recovery of bio using the microbes for recovery of the copper and gold is getting familiar nowadays. Recovery of biorecovery. Biorecovery of copper and gold is getting familiar using microbes. And in India, it is not at all installed. We are seeking the good biological methods of recovery of heavy metals that will give the less cost wise. It should be transferred, that is called a technology transfer from the developed countries. Through the research and development, we should encourage the bio recovery of the copper and gold and other palladium and other metals instead of using the acid leaching and chemical treatment methods, which ultimately brings the pollution load to the earth.
One last question. So, has TNPCB completed inventorization of e-waste?
During the January 2020, we have given the inventorization of e-waste to the NPC, National Productivity Council. They are on the way to complete their inventorization of e-waste, and I am also one of the technical member committee to review their inventorization methods. And within 1 or 2 months, we hope it will be completed. They have submitted the draft report.
Okay. Thank you. Participants, I guess you can ask more questions. I will drop my email ID and then ma'am's mail ID also. So, at the
And
end
one more question: do the bulk consumer need to get authorization for e-waste? It's a good question. Bulk consumer don't need to get authorization, since they have educational institution and big public sectors have so much quantity of electronic waste. They need to maintain form number 3, and they have to send their electronic waste to the authorized recyclers.
Okay, ma'am. There are a lot of questions coming up. Maybe we can give you an email ID so that they can come to us. Because there is one more speaker waiting over there. So I will just drop the email ID, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So, yes, ma'am, you can stop sharing, ma'am. So I can invite the next participant. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
Navin, sir. Navin, sir.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible, sir. Kindly start your presentation, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, give present now, share your screen and select the screen and okay.
So is it audible, Mr. Devanand?
Yes, it's audible. We are not able to see your presentation, sir.
So once again.
Can you open your PPT, sir? Okay, sir. Slideshow, sir, please. Okay. So this is Mr. Navin from Virogreen. He's being a representative of Virogreen India Private Limited, which they are involved in recycling of e-waste. So he would basically explain on how the recycling process works up and what are the beneficial of it, and then how the reverse logistic systems, and he would be detailing on those. So I request Mr. Navin to kindly deliver your lecture.
Yeah. So Good afternoon to one and all. So, just welcomes Ms. Nalini Madam from Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, and also Devarajan from Pondicherry Pollution Control Board, and
Thank
also my dear colleagues from various industries, especially. So today we here on International E-Waste Day. So it is a nice topic to have a discussions on this waste management on this e-waste. So let me introduce myself. Myself, Naveen. I am from Viro Green India Private Limited. So I was there in the industry for past 10 years for these electronic waste recyclings. So today we have a topic on this waste management. So before going into the topic, we'll have a small brief, because the lots of brief has been given by the madam especially. So it's a small brief case studies on this e-waste. So before going into the waste, that is what are the different types of, it means what is waste. So anything which is not being usable or end of its life, we call it as waste. So there are different types of waste. One is we call it as biomedical waste, and if you take a biomedical waste, if you have syringes and cottons and sponges and blood samples, these comes under this biomedical waste. And if you take a solid waste, if you have a organic waste like garbage waste and wood waste, papers and any metals, rubber, so these things which comes under the solid waste. And the third is hazardous waste. So in these cases, we find batteries like lead acid batteries and oils and the chemicals and the fertilizers, so which comes under the hazardous waste. And the constructions and demolitions waste. So we have stones and other cements and other particles, which comes under this demolition and construction waste. So finally we have that e-waste. So the e-waste is a major challenge in the current scenario, especially because electronic waste. What is e-waste? So e-waste is nothing but waste electrical and electronic material which is being discarded or end of its life. We call it as e-waste. The current scenario of this e-waste, as madam says, that the e-waste generation is almost 53.4 million tons of e-waste generated in 2002. So the 5 major countries who's been generated this e-waste, especially, that is, we call China produced 10.9 million tons of e-waste, and followed by US, that is 6.5 million tons of e-waste, and India generates 3.2 million tons of e-waste, followed by Germany, which generates almost 2.2 million tons of e-waste, and followed by North Korea, that is 1.9 million tons of e-waste. So the generations of this e-waste is in India, it keeps on increasing, especially. So if you take in 2030, the report says by Astom, as ma'am says, that it's going to be like 74 million tons of e-waste going to be generated. So the major cities and major places in India where the e-waste generating, if you take Maharashtra with the 19.8% of e-waste is generated, and followed by Tamil Nadu is 13.1%, Andhra Pradesh is 12%, and Uttar Pradesh is 10%, West Bengal is 9.8%, and Delhi is 9.5%, and Bangalore is 8.9%, and Gujarat 8.8%, and Madhya Pradesh is 7.9%. So in these generations of this e-waste, so that there are the various complications has been worried about. If he says that 95% of the electronic wastage which is going to the informal sectors. So whose are informal sectors? So we call it as Kabadi Wala peoples, or we will say that the Kailangada. So the people used to roam in and around the streets, though they used to collect these CRT monitors or refrigerators or ACs or whatever it may be. So what they do exactly, because the material they collect, so they will break the CRT monitors or the refrigerators totally. Then what they will means, like without using the safety norms, they have been using it. without hand gloves or without mask or anything else. And also they used to burn the cables in the open yard. So once the cables been burned up for the extractions of copper, so the toxic fumes comes out of it, so which is affect the environmental also. So in that cases, so these informal sector people, so which have the effects on the soil pollution, like being like landfilling, so and also air pollutions, like these toxic fumes which comes out of the various products especially, and there is a suffocations of the oxygens.
Hello, sir. Naveen, sir.
Hello.
Sir, can you show the slides, please? Because we are not able to see the slide. Like it's in the first slide itself, actually.
One second. No, I just complete it up. Then we go into upon the topic.
Okay,
Exactly.
sir. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that's what because ma'am has been given a tremendous statistics reports. So I just following up exactly. Okay. So the thing is like as I said that air pollutions, which is by the toxic fumes totally, and also the liquid that is water pollutions. The Ismailia University's research says that 500 liters of water has been collected from the basin of this Ganga and Yamuna. They find that the toxic substance has been mixed up with the water. So the reason behind is there is no lack of awareness, especially on this electronic wastage. So I used to travel. Last year to Delhi. I found the location in Silampur. The small children who's been engaged in the dismantling of these CPUs or CRT monitors without safety norms and anything else. And also, I feel worried about it exactly. For cooking purpose, they are using PCB boards. So it feels like this. Where is this awareness camps are being going up exactly in that cases? Because this e-waste, which contains very toxic substances, for example, lead, silver, platinum, and also beryllium, phosphorus, and also precious metals, also gold, silver, platinum, and all the precious metals, and these toxic substances, which affects the human health by for bone problems, nervous problems, muscular damages, then kidney issues. So there are several cases on this electronic waste. So the government of India, especially, so by on 2011 they have implemented these e-waste management handling rules, stating that these electronic wastage has to reach the proper recyclers. So if you take the 75% of the electronic wastage, which was comes out from the private as well as the public sectors, and the 25% which is comes from the consumer end. So in these cases, 70% of the materials are like computers, and 12% of the materials are telecommunication materials, and 8% of the materials are electrical and electronics types of materials, and 3 to 4% is going to be like equipments, and 6% might be a consumer electronic goods like refrigerator, ACs, washing machines, and other etc. So as we said that the government have given much pressures on these electronic wastage, so which have been implemented the rules on 2016 like a extended producer responsibility. So this is a very good move, and also which put a pressures on the producers, especially the major generator of the producer. If you take a desktops, laptop like Dell, HP, Lenovo, like many kind of companies who generated this electronic wastage enormously. So the government have taken this initiative on this extended producer responsibility. So whatever the material they generate, they need to channelize through the collection centers, and they need to channelize through the service center peoples, or whatever the location, they need to channelize this electronic wastage and give to a authorized e-waste recyclers, and which was again get amended and get much implemented on 2018 by giving them a target. So for example, 10% of the material has to be collected from the 17 to 18 years, and 20% of the material has to collect from 18 to 19, and again 50% of material has to collect from 19 to 20. So likewise, the government has insisted the private and the public sectors on these e-waste managements. But the compliances part, if you go to the public, because they doesn't know this how to dispose this electronic wastage. So as I said that Virogreen India Private Limited, so we are the leading e-waste recyclers in India. So we have established in the year 2002. So we are the organized sectors with having a full equipments, machineries especially. So as I said that the electronic wastage that is not working or absolutely have essential reach the end of its useful life, like cell phones, photocopier, digital cameras, toys, sports equipments, and computers and their peripherals. So why should we recycle this e-waste? So e-waste is 3 times more faster growing segments than another waste. As I said that compare with other electronic from wastages, for example, say biomedical waste or hazardous waste, the e-waste is been like getting bigger and bigger, and it's been going to affect the human health. So we need to be recycled. So I said that it has some valuable substances like gold, silver, plastics, etc., and also a toxic substances like mercury, lead, cadmiums, and beryllium and chromium, and chemical flames retardants. So we said that the PCB boards, which is used for the cooking purpose, and even the cathode ray tube, they without the safety norms, they break it, and also they burn the cables, especially for the extractions of the copper. So these are the unsafe disposal of this electronic wastage. So these are the effects on these humans. That is, the PCB boards contain leads and mercury, which damage the central nervous systems and blood sugars. And resistor in PCB contain cadmium and causes neutral damage. CRT monitor contain beryllium and phosphorus, causes muscle weakness and heart damage. Copper wire contain copper, liver damage. Lithium-ion battery contain lithium, passes into mother's milk and affect the born baby. So the importance of recycle, so it will make the environmental clean and also reduce the garbage in landfill. So mainly it will save our future generation from the hazards of this e-waste. So as we said that the e-waste management rules, so it was implemented in 2011 and it was much affected in 2016 and again amended on 2018. So whatever the electronic wastage we collect, so it has to channelize and give to the authorized e-waste recyclers. So these were the categories of the electronic waste. As I said, there's data processing, personal computing, like notebook, computers, printers, including cartridges. So which has comes in a schedule 1, which has been given from the Pollution Control Board as well as in the management handling rules. So these are consumer electronic goods like television set, refrigerator, washing machines, air condition, fluorescent. So Virogreen India Private Limited, so as I said, we have started in the concern from 2002 onwards. So we are the companies who's been authorized from Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board as well as Central Pollution Control Board as well as Ministry of Environment and Forest. And also we are being accredited by ISO 9001 for quality management systems, ISO 14001 for environmental management systems, and ISO 18001 for occupational health and safety management systems. And also we are the only recyclers in India who got responsible recycling of R2 license. So the machinery for recycling especially, so we have here dismantling sections, hard disk, data eliminator sections, CRT cutting machine, CRT net breaker machines, toner recycling machines, and cable recycling machines. What we do with this dismantling section, whatever the material we collect, for example, if we collect a material from the company, so we will again weighman that material in our premises. So there should not be plus or minus in the material. So again, it is going to rearrangement in the material. For example, if we collect CPU means we will dismantle the CPU like metal parts separately, plastic parts separately, then wires separately, and hard disk separately, and PCB board separately, especially. And if we go into metal part, what we will do means like we will build the metal part, and we will give the metal to the authorized smelters for further level of recycling. And if we go for a cable, there is a copper cable, we have a cable recycling machines. So what we will do means like we will shed that cable, that is plastics and copper separately, and toner recycling machines. So the carbon powders is being separated, again plastic will be separated. You can find the CRT cutting machines, that is this is a machine like we have for a CRT TV, because the cathode ray tubes will be there in the backside of the CRT TV. It will be partially cutted, and also it will remove the phosphorus powder from the CRT TV, and these phosphorus powder we are giving to the Tamil Nadu Waste Management for a landfilling process. The major cases is hard disk data eliminator section, because nowadays the hard disk plays a vital role because of their data. Because we have received many cases in this. Example, a girl, she is having a habit of taking selfies, especially. So she been worried and complaining to their mom, stating that my mobile phone, which was getting to a problem. So she was given this mobile phone to the service center. So the service center guy bought this mobile phone more than the value her purchased, especially. So he have retrieved all the data and all the photos totally, and blackmail her for 7 lakh rupees, especially. So now the technology is been improving, but the only solution is if your mobile phones or any of the electronic gadgets like laptops or hard disk, or which has been any corrupted, kindly dispose through the electronic waste recyclers, especially. Don't give your electronic part with contained data to any of the agencies or any of the service centers. So whatever the hard disk we collect from the companies also, so we have a degassing machine. So what we do means like we will place this hard disk inside that machine, so that the data will be completely erased, and it will be new, and it cannot be again reused. Again, what we will do, we will take this hard disk and put it in a hard disk shedding machine, and we will destroy this hard disk completely. And again, the filament parts and the motor part and the wire part, so everything will be dismantled, and each and every material have a solution, especially. So this is a material flow chart. I said that whatever the material we removed, so the material segregations will be there. So if in case of the CRT means like again monitor will be cutting and breaking process, and the lead phosphorus will be going to Tamil Nadu Waste Management. And if it takes off hard disk, again we go for a data eraser, that is a degassing section, and again we destruct the hard disk with the hard disk shedder, and we will provide them the data eraser certificate for them customer for within 15 working days. And again we are from the material segregation part, the material will be dismantling, and the segregation of the material of ferrous and non-ferrous, of plastics and PCBs. So in case of PCBs, the PCBs and the plastics are shedding in the shedding machines, and we shedding PCBs are sent to overseas for the precious metal recovery, especially. So and plastics will be given to a plastic recyclers, especially. So for this, all these the process, we are giving them, the customers, here destruction certificates for the purpose. So this is a dismantling sections where we dismantle all these CPU and other electronic gadgets. So as I said, this is the degassing process. I said that, and also we have a software enabled process, because this is a sensitive machines. So in order to get traveled to any of the customer side also, we have a software enabled process, so where the data can be erased, and again we'll put this hard disk in the hard disk degassing process, and goes to the hard disk shedding process. So this is what the hard disk breaking machine. I said that. So as we found that we have a machinery. So this is a machinery. So we will place this hard disk here. So it will be break in the shedding machines. So this is the input of the hard disk, and the output will be totally like this. So we will give them a photocopy. In the customers needs is a hard disk, eraser, certificates, and also serial number of the hard disk. So these are the shedding machines where the inputs of this PCB board and the shedded PCB boards and final output of the PCB boards. So this final output only we are transported to overseas for the precious metal recovery. So as I said, this is a cable recycling machines for the extractions of the coppers. So these are the 100% safe disposal machineries where we can see the informal sectors like the peoples used to burn these cables especially. So the government have insisted, so the machineries and the recycling procedures we need to be followed. So these are the CRT neck breaker machines, the input material of the CRT chokes without CRT and isolated guns. So these have a carbon powder which inside it. So we are giving to the Tamil Nadu Waste Management for landfilling process. So as I said that this is a lead coated glasses. So phosphorus powders. So this is a CRT cutting machines. So toner recycling machines. So this is a process we have a recycling. So the carbon powder will be extracted and we give the Tamil Nadu Waste Management, and again plastic will go for further recycling. So as he said that safe disposal, you need to give recycled material safely to authorized vendors, and hazardous waste has been sent to Tamil Nadu Waste Material land filling process. And our organization helped the environment by 100% of recycling the e-waste, which would create the hazardous pollution for atmosphere. So we have a security systems. That means because whatever the material we collect from the customer end, because it has to be safe and secure, we have a CCTV cameras, 24 hours of security, metal detectors, identity card and digital attendance and facilities, staff quarters, canteen facilities, well-equipped back office supports, vehicle parking lot, first aid and conference rooms for further discussions on this electronic wastage especially. So the environment on Virogreen especially, it's a greenery surrounding and ergonomic layouts. So we place the Bima bamboo plants, trees, because it have more preferable for absorption of CO2, 110 times more than other plants, and excellent gardens surrounding with a pleasure atmosphere. And also we have given a saplings to Pondicherry Pollution Control Board, especially on the environmental day for the greenery movement. So as a CSR activity, so Virogreen not only engaged in the dismantlings and the recycling sections, Virogreen giving plenty of opportunities in the CSR activities, because we are the only concern who's been giving awareness campaigns in schools, colleges, especially engineering and arts science colleges, because we are initiating this awareness campaign to them. So the college students have been visiting our facility as an industrial visit. So they have know this process, and we are giving them a certificate to each and every student for that, because who has been willing to come for industrial visits especially. And also we are supporting the colleges by creating the electronic waste app. So these college students have been collecting these electronic wastages in and around their colleges and dispose in their colleges. So once the material is dumped, so we are been go there and collect the materials. And also we have been collected 1 ton of plastic waste in the collaboration with Taj Groups of Hotel from slums in Chennai. And also we provide 1,000 sapling of Bima bamboo plants, as I said, Pondicherry Pollution Control Committee on Environmental Day especially. So that's what. Thank you. I hope that this PPT could have helped you for the dispose of this electronic wastage. So kindly save the planet for future generation. Take care of our earth, and they will take care of you. And a small video presentation. It has been. Once again.
life of electronic goods does not end up in a dumping yard.
So this is our premises, which is there in Gumdipundi, which have a environmental friendly manner of greenery.
Ensures that the e-waste is responsible. Our connection team connects the e-waste from our lines protection.
So whatever the electronic wastage we collect it, we will take the photograph of that material, especially. So we will again the weighment the material, as I said. So every material which has been packed in a safe manner. So we will take the serial number of the hard disk, because the client's data is much important for us. So as I said about the degaussing process, whatever the hard disk we place in that machine, so it will be erased and the data will be eliminated. So it will be completely new. And again we put it in a hard disk shedding machine. So the hard disk will be completely shedded. So we'll give them a destruction certificate for the hard disk especially. So we'll dismantle any kind of electronic goods like the CPUs and other things. So this is a CPU metal and the outer part. We need to bile it with the biling machine.
So presentation is not in screen.
So these are PCB boards. We'll classify this PCB board with the shedded resistors and capacitors and other things. So we will put these PCB boards in the shedding machine. Devanand, is it our video presentation is clear?
Yes, sir. We are able to see the videos. No issue.
Okay. So this is a cable recycling machine, as I said. So we'll distinguish these plastics as well as copper separately. So these plastics again go for further level of recycling. So these plastics, as I said, toner recycling machine. So this is a CRT neck breaker machines. As I said, the people's unknown peoples or informal sector is used to bash the CRT monitors, so without any safety norms. So here we are using very dry process. So as said, the tube lights and bulbs will be crushed in the with the shedding machines totally, and it is been collected and given to the Tamil Nadu Waste Management for landfilling process. This is a battery storage yard. Separately, we have put up in our premises. So this is a certificate of destructions we give to the each and every client regarding the list of names and invoice numbers and everything, whatever the material. These are the dismantled materials which is shredded from the whole materials which is comes out from the companies especially. So safety is giving much importance to the employees in the Virogreen India Private Limited. So we go for the digital attendance especially. So any of the electronic gadgets inside the premises should not be go away from any weather. So we are been checking numerously. So we got many awards from various institutions, especially on this electronic waste proposal. So as I said that, so the informal sectors were going for this unsafe disposal. As we said that we are the Virogreen India Private Limited's leading e-waste recyclers. So to collect your electronic wastage and dispose in a environmental friendly manner. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the informative presentation and showing us the technologies available for recycling,
Yes,
and
thank
detailing
you.
us, also taking us a video tour into your factory. It was a very nice, actually. So there are
Exactly.
some questions which have been put forth to you, sir. I will just share it with you.
Okay.
You can check in the chat box also. The first question is, in the video of Virogreen, what is recovered from lights and bulbs?
So the lights and bulbs majorly, so we will crush these tube lights. These tube lights which contains the metal parts also. This metal part will be separated and again boil it and give to authorized smelters for recycling. These hazardous materials will be given to the Tamil Nadu Waste Management for landfilling process.
Okay. So the next question is, what is the minimum and maximum volume of waste you will recycle?
So that's what we have a capacity for 15,000 tons of electronic wastage in a year exactly. So we are been doing almost 7,000 tons in a year especially.
That's it, sir. No other questions has been put forth. And
Sure.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Devanand. I think this is a nice presentation.
One second. There is one more question. Sorry. Are you an
Okay.
e-Steward certified enterprise?
No. We are the responsible recycler certified, especially.
Okay, sir. Okay. And okay, sir. If there are any more questions, please drop your questions to my mail ID, which I have shared it earlier. So,
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Devanand. I think it has been a nice presenting and meeting everyone here. So let me say that don't throw away your electronic wastage to any of the unauthorized vendors. So kindly contribute us so that we can take this initiative for the future generation, especially. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. And also you can collect our email ID and the contact number through Mr. Devanand. So he might be get in touch with us, especially. So we can able to take your material in and around your premises. Thank you.
Okay. So can you kindly off your presentation, sir? I have to present something soon.
Once again.
Yeah. Sorry, sir. Control F5. I hope all the participants can see the pamphlet which we are being publishing on eve of today. So here you can just this would be shared in the social media. on NVSub page, and also we will upload it in the Pondicherry Pollution Control website. This is for disseminating information in regard to e-waste management rules. So here you can just go through on simple what are the responsibility of bulk consumers, and every office or industries what is their responsible, and what are actually e-waste. So which has been given a picture representation which could be easily understood, and there is a link, a QR code which has been given here to know about the collection centers which are currently operating in Puducherry. So you can use a QR code app and then kindly scan it, which could help you in accessing the information. Or you can visit the website Puducherry Pollution Control Committee, where you will get the list of collection points in Puducherry, and also neighboring recyclers and dismantlers details you would be getting from our website. And there is one more QR code which has been given. You can access the rule from here. So to know what are actually e-waste and what are the responsibilities and of the other stakeholders. So with this, the presentation concludes, and then I take this opportunity first to thank our member secretary and secretary for giving the permission to organize such an event, and I thank all my colleagues for supporting to organize this event, and also I thank the guest Ms. Nalini Madam from TNPCB and Mr. Naveen from Myro Green for giving such an informative presentation and giving the awareness which is much needed for public, the consumers and bulk consumers, how to dispose and what are the technologies available, detailing on it. So I take this opportunity to personally thank them for giving us such a wonderful presentation, and I thank all the participants and all the industry representatives and all the consumers who are making this event successful. So I thank you one and all. So with this, I will conclude the presentation. So for any information or anything with respect to e-waste management, you can just mail me mail to the following email ID, which I given earlier, dave.27anand@gmail.com, which will be answered based through the email. So thank you.
Thank you, Dev. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.